Ready for the dictation? Start. Following the adage, never waste a crisis, the government of Uttar Pradesh last week introduced an ordinance that has scrapped most labor laws for 3 years, ostensibly for creating jobs and for attracting factories existing China following the outbreak of the novel coronavirus. These laws deal with the occupational safety, health, and working conditions of workers, regulation of hours of work, wages, and settlement of industrial disputes. They apply mostly to the economy's organized sector, that is, registered factories and companies and large establishments in general. Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat have quickly followed suit. Reportedly, Punjab has already allowed 12 hours shifts per day in factories without overtime payment to overcome worker shortage after the migrants have left in the wake of the national lockdown. Snatching away labor laws in the midst of a global pandemic and national lockdown is distressing and shocking. Over the course of the last 7 weeks, we have witnessed unheard of human distress as lakhs of migrant workers continue to desperately trudge to their villages after losing their jobs, livelihoods, and households in cities. Despite overflowing food grain stocks, governments have been miserly in providing adequate food security, income support to workers to retain them in their places of work has also been lacking. Significantly, migrant labor will be critical to restore production once the lockdown is lifted. In fact, factories and shops are already staring at worker shortages. Instead of encouraging workers to stay back or return to cities by ensuring livelihood support and safety nets, state governments have sought to strip workers of their fundamental rights. Employers' associations have urged the central government to do away with most labor rights to address temporary labor shortages. Trade union leaders from the Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh to the Center of Indian Trade Unions and opposition leaders in Uttar Pradesh have condemned the ordinance. It will face a challenge in courts, legal experts say. The abrogation of labor laws raises many constitutional and political questions, but will it expand employment and output growth as claimed by its proponents? Such a step, by popular belief, will reduce wage costs, increase profits, and augment productive investment and growth. Improved supply is expected to create demand. Such reasoning assumes that labor laws are the binding constraints on expanding output. Surely, the lockdown has disrupted supply, but only temporarily. There are no inherent shortages at the moment as the inflation rate remains moderate. Agricultural produce is rotting in farms for lack of transport. Industrial production is held up as migrant workers have fled for their lives. Stop.